What's up? Welcome back to Offsides Podcast. We beat here with Pete and James. James, what's going on, brother?
Hey man, another beautiful day in Florida.
Yo, the weather is good down here. I'm over here in Claremont. I walked outside this morning. The breeze is good. I was like, damn, this is
Mm.
the kind of weather I could deal with, man. It's not that bad. I ain't really step out the crib. I only left once though. I was tired. Pedro, what's up with you, bro? What's going on?
Well, not like you guys. It's getting cold up here, so
Yo,
happy for you guys, though. Happy for you guys.
I got a client in the Bronx, man. She was telling me today, she was like, yo, it's cold up here, Frank. I said, really? She said, yeah, it's like hoodie weather. Like you gotta wear a hoodie, be outside and stuff. I'm like, all right, cool. That means we ain't gonna start getting cold soon. So I look forward to it. Let's just get right into it, man. We got some news to cover. Nothing crazy. Go back about the games. We had Thursday night, you had the 49ers and Seahawks. Then at the 1 o'clock games, we had the 9:30 game on Sunday. We had Jags versus Bears in London. The 1 o'clock game we had. Well, that's not even worth mentioning. I was about to say Texans at Patriots, but that was a molly whop in itself. Commanders had the Ravens. That was a good
Oh yeah,
game.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
Um, the Lions served up the Cowboys, right?
Mm.
That was a
Banks.
that was a great game.
Yeah, yeah,
Great
yeah.
game.
Bengals and Giants, they played. I felt like Giants held up a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Until it didn't. And then we had Monday night Bills and Jets. I was
What
Ooh.
do you mean? What you mean? Nothing really happened. Did you really just say that?
with the Bengals and Giants.
Nah, I'm talking about the Devontae Adams,
Oh no,
Amari
yeah, yeah,
Cooper.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's I'm talking about the game though. We didn't
Oh,
even get to the news.
all
Trust me.
right.
Let's recap real quick and let's get to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
you want to say
yeah,
what's
yeah.
up? So hold on.
You,
Yeah, what up, Pete?
what up?
What's good?
What's good, brother?
Chilling, bro. Chilling, bro. How's everything good?
Things good, man. Can't complain.
Family's
I don't
good?
got the weather. I don't got the weather you guys got down there, but I'm
Yo,
chilling.
it's cold down here, bro. It's 60. For real, yo. I needed a jacket this morning to go to work.
Yeah, I feel good.
Oh my
I
God.
was like, this is great. All right, yo.
Later, brother.
Man, we all grew up together. But yeah, so let's. What game you want to talk? I'll go with you, Pete. Which one you want to tackle first, real quick, before we get into the news?
The Cowboys, because I think there was a trickle down effect
Mm-hmm.
after that happened on Jerry Jones's birthday, and
Mm.
then I don't know what radio station tried to ask him questions about it, and then he got like all defensive. It's a dick move trying to say, yeah, I'll get somebody else to do your job.
Yeah.
I think it's just him, realizing that, he fucked up. He's the one who put this team together, and it's on him. And I don't know why anybody would think this team is going to contend for a Super Bowl or even playoffs because they look they look bad. They look
Yeah.
really bad. Like when you brought up the Giants have a half a team. Like they have a defense, but they don't got an offense.
Hmm.
The Cowboys seem like a shirt that has a lot of holes in it. And that's what
Yeah.
the Cowboys are. They got their quarterback, they got their highest paid quarterback, they got their highest paid wide receiver. They got Micah Parsons, they got Diggs, but doesn't seem like they got much else. And
Yeah.
it showed on Sunday. They got whipped. They got whipped by a completely better football team. And I think it showed. And this guy's feeling it because his fingerprints is all over it.
Mhm.
Yeah, I didn't even know he said that to the reporter. You can't be mad at nobody at your demise but yourself for with the demise you created. You know what I'm saying? We talked
Mhm.
about it in the summertime. We recorded. It was like, yo, what are you doing to replenish the team? You got no run game. Um, you got one real good wide receiver. You know what I'm saying? And what are you getting the guy that you just paid all this money to? Which I don't think he should have got paid all that money, but it is what it is. Amen. And now you got CeeDee Lamb out there looking stupid by himself. So I think the Lions, they handled business like they should have handled business. You know what I'm saying? I don't think anybody thought it was gonna be 47-9, but they handled it. And Cowboys look like they look. They struggling. You know what I'm saying? No, my mom brought me coffee, y'all, so she's like, make sure it's good. But yeah, so James, what about you? What game you think this weekend?
Oh man, well, it wasn't weekend, but Monday night, man. That Jets. Hey man, it just show you how the organization is that's trash, bro. You got Devontae Adams on the FaceTime call with Aaron. That means they've been talking. It's just they got so much BS going on behind the scenes, bro. It's not a good look. You fire your head coach off some stuff that he ain't even do, and then you got the controversial, Devontae Adams walking in at your crib like this is, bro. Aaron Rodgers should have retired. I feel bad for saying that, but he's not been nothing but a problem to organization in the last 5 years, bro. This dude is just he all over the place with it, man. And then the
Yeah,
responses when it came to questioning about, the firing of the coach, bro. Like, dude ain't never took accountability for nothing. He's always throwing people under the bus. His legacy just now, granted, his physical play on the field, amazing. But now these last 5, 6 years, bro, like kind of looking at him like, bro, he's an unfavorable quarterback right now. Like, I ain't even rocking with A-Rod.
he, I didn't see the game Monday because I was at a men's thing at the church, and it went a little longer than expected, which I was okay with. You know what I'm saying? And then when I got home, I was packing to drive out first thing in the morning. So I was listening to the game. And for a second there, what I saw, it looked like they were coming together. And I said, yo, not this
Mm-hmm.
jerk decides to play real football now that they fired the head coach. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
my cousin, he a Jet fan, my man Drew, and he like, yo, Aaron ain't had nothing to do with it. And I said, why? He said, because they still made Nathaniel Hackett step back. I said, that's exactly why he had something to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
I said, think about it. The owner spoke to him the night before. They had a conversation. Why would the owner come out and say, "Oh, we didn't talk about the coach"? So you talking to your franchise quarterback that you paid money, went and flew across the country to get to come to your team, got the coach he wanted, the backup quarterback he wanted, the offensive line people he wanted, the receivers he wanted, everybody he wants, you getting. And I'm doing all this for you. You think that the conversation's not going to be your Pete, man? I brought you here. We struggling.
You think?
What you think it is? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I saw it. He threw the pick. I said this last week. I think he's washed. I don't think he's the same guy he used to be. Um, and we're gonna get into it now. Now that you brought up that team, we could transition if Pete ain't got nothing to add to it. Um, about it's just to me, I think Aaron's just is. I think the Jets are putting too much stake in a man that is not the same, hasn't been the same for years.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't been that same person since his last MVP. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't thrown for 300 yards in a game and I don't know how long, unless I missed it recently. Look, this one's 294, 6 yards shy of 300 yards. So I don't know, but Pete, what you got, man?
About that game.
Yeah, or just yeah.
He's not this, they're living in the past. I mean, it's more off his name than anything because, he's Aaron Rodgers. Can't take away
Mm-hmm.
4 MVPs, the Super Bowl win, but he's not what he was, especially coming off the injury. Um, all this that they did, the defense, they won 7 games with that defense. So imagine with Aaron Rodgers, they got the same amount of points
Mhm,
from last year to this year. So we'll see what Devontae Adams is not, how that's gonna look. I think it was 3 years ago that they last played together. So we'll see
mhm.
how it looks now. And we'll see if that's the missing piece, if that's gonna turn it around. I think they make the playoffs still. They could make the playoffs. I mean, last seed. I don't think they're winning the division, but
Nah.
they only get better with this. But offensive line is still an issue, and
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
he's been getting hit a lot.
Oh yeah.
Let's see if he can survive that. So
you touched on a little bit, and they mentioned it. James mentioned it. Devontae Adams now a Jet. They basically traded him for nothing. It was like a third round that could turn into a potential second round pick. They didn't even give up a player. It's like two picks. I
Nope.
guess one they just gave him away for a bag of chips. You know what I'm saying? Like a quart of water and sunflower seeds. Here you go. Um, you kind of touched on it, Pete. You said that maybe it might help out. It might not. You still see him making the playoffs, maybe seventh round. I mean, seventh seed or something like that. But let's look at it a little deeper, right? You got Garrett Wilson, right? And now you got Lazard, who's he's I'll say below average right now, but he could go to your third slot. They're gonna trade Mike Williams.
Yeah.
So now he's gone. You know what I'm saying? Devontae's gonna be your one. Gary's gonna be your two. Lazard's your three. You got two outstanding running backs in Brees Hall and um the kid
Bring it
Allen.
back.
Allen, the rookie. I guess I'm gonna start with you, Pete. Um, I know they haven't played together in like 3 years, let's say. Things change, people change, connections change. Chemistry might still be there. And I think you and I spoke about this. Do you think that his presence is going to make such an impact that it'll improve Wilson and Lazard on the back end?
Yeah, because now you got a legitimate number one receiver. And look, they're both older than they were, of course, but they're still Devontae Adams is still, he was putting up numbers in Vegas with Derek Carr and then the backup last year.
Hmm.
And even in the Ravens game, he played well this year. Him just wanted to leave. And I heard they were working on trying to get him to the Jets since last year.
Hmm.
So it definitely opens everything up. Now they gotta guard two guys. They gotta guard Wilson. They gotta guard Devontae Adams, who's probably gonna be the first read. I would say what 85% of the time. And then if he ain't there, then he's gonna go to Wilson. They got two young running backs, like you said, but it's the offensive line. The offensive line is gonna be what's gonna tell the tale right here. They're not. Look at the top teams in the AFC. They're not beating these teams. They're not beating the Ravens. They're not beating the Chiefs and Arrowhead. Everything's going to be on the road because they're under 500. If they do make some type of run, they're not surpassing any of these teams. The Bengals are starting to turn it around now. I mean, what do you think is going to happen in Pittsburgh on Sunday?
Mhm.
Hmm.
So you gotta. It looks great. Yeah, they're getting reunited, but okay, now let's see what it's going to look like 3 years later on another team that doesn't have a good offensive line.
So I'm gonna give this one to James, but it's a two-part. Running backs, I think, are gonna eat now. And the reason I think they're going to eat a little bit is because you have to protect. You got to cover Adam. You got to make sure Wilson's good. I wouldn't worry about Lazard. Like when I get off the bus as a defense, obviously I wouldn't be the player because look at me. I'll be the coach. And I'm thinking like, yo, I'm not worried about Lazard. What I'm worried about more is not letting Adams and Wilson go off on me. How do you think that impacts Brees Hall and Allen now? Because I mean, I could load the box up but when I load the box up, I'm leaving that back end open. Take it from there. And then the next question I have for you would be uh, do you think that they should have made the trade before the season started? So two part.
Yeah, so obviously, um, they have, like you said, they got good running backs, so they're gonna get a chance to eat. But the offensive line is still in question. Rodgers is old, so how much more punishment can he take getting rushed and touched every game, 6, 7 sacks? Like he's not gonna be able to withstand that. One and two, of course, you make that trade before the season because now, like we talked about this in the summertime, a lot of teams it's only one Super Bowl champion per year. The biggest part of any franchise or organization is profit. He was a profitable move. He's not long term. Now you bring in Devontae Adams. You got the owner going on record saying he didn't talk to his quarterback. Bruh, like it don't make sense. It almost feels like an NFL or Madden 25 storyline where it's almost like for real publicity to draw sales. Um, and now you bring him in mid-season. Hopefully he makes a difference for some good football. But as far as making a run for a Super Bowl, they got too many missing pieces. Offensive line. Uh, you just fired your head coach mid-season. It's too much stuff that
Hmm.
got to get changed for them to make this turnaround in the AFC. It's just not gonna happen. So yeah, rushing wise, they're gonna open up some stuff, hopefully. Um, but long ball, I don't see them being good enough to overcome what they've struggled with and the obstacles they have to push and be a contender for a Super Bowl. It just ain't happening. And nobody gets younger in the NFL. So guess what? Next year you still gotta worry about who you. And if you think long term, you got to worry about who are replacing Aaron Rodgers with. Does he play till he's
Yeah.
45? who I got to bring it down, adjust to our style of play, and the coach. What if next year they get they get a hire for coach, and it's not meshing? Like this is the things that I worry about, especially when it comes to a guy like Aaron Rodgers, who's setting his way at 40 years old, and he ain't bending no breaking for nobody.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be they got their difficulties inside the locker room aside from play. Like this is some deeper stuff.
Yeah, I don't think, in my opinion, I don't think Devontae, he'll make a difference. But I think the damage is already done. You're 2-4.
Yeah.
You're 2 games behind in the East. Yeah, the only good thing you got is that we're like the Patriots are starting a rookie quarterback, and we still don't know what's up with Tua. So you could still potentially come away with the second best team in the East. But now, if you break down the AFC, I think there's a lot more teams that are vying for a playoff spot than the
Oh yeah.
Jets. Like you got the Steelers sitting at 4-2. You got the Bengals trying to make a turnaround. Your Ravens are stroking. Chiefs are 6-0, 5-0, 5-0.
Yeah.
Uh, the Texans are finding a way to win. You know what I'm saying? So they coming around. We still got a lot of football left, and some of these teams are looking like a lot better contenders for that 6 and 7 seed than or fifth seed than these people are. Another running back, I mean, a running back, wide receiver, and there is a running back that moved too, but we talked to wide receiver first. Amari Cooper went to the Bills. I think the Bills were trying to see if they could get Adams first, and the minute they couldn't get
Mm.
Adams, they went and got Cooper. Um, James, how you think that's going to impact the Bills?
Oh, I think it's gonna be a plus, man. It's gonna be good for him. Like I said, Buffalo one of those teams, man. You can't just count them out. So they got some talent around him, but he's definitely gonna add a weapon. Um, they got I like the culture of Buffalo football. Put it like that. They don't
Okay.
have a culture where they got loyal fans. It's not. He's gonna have a I ain't gonna say immediate impact, but he's definitely a piece that's not gonna take away from what they got going on. Momentum is everything in football, and we know that. Look at the Ravens. Started 0-2, 4 games straight. The momentum is on their side. Buffalo, I mean, we got them, but we beat them, but they still got some nice momentum going. And we all know
Mhm.
that playoff football is different. So when playoff time come around, he's definitely going to be a piece that's going to be utilized and be beneficial for Buffalo.
So, Pete, obviously the Chiefs are the top dogs in the AFC. I don't know if you think they're the best team in the AFC. We can talk about that a little bit if you want. But for right now, they're the champs. They're 5-0. Does Amari Cooper make the Bills that much more of a contender? We know it's going to be good for them. I think it'd be great. Have a veteran wide receiver. It allows Coleman, Shakir, and them to kind of learn and not be the pressure be on them. If they can get James Cook back to run the ball, it'll be better. Do you feel, in your opinion, based on what you've seen so far, does it make them a contender in that conference?
They got rid of Diggs, and then like 5 games into the season, 6 games into the season, they realized we need a number one receiver.
Mm.
So they get the opposite of Diggs, and I'm not talking about production wise. I'm talking about he's not everywhere he's been quiet. You don't hear him doing none of the bullshit a lot of these other receivers do. So I think this does nothing but help them. Now I also heard that they were trying to get Devontae Adams. The salary wouldn't work because Amari Cooper is a lot cheaper than what Devontae Adams is getting for the rest of the year.
Right.
But there's another there's something else to them getting Amari Cooper was to keep him away from the Chiefs.
Ah, got to.
So that's two birds with one stone right there.
Yeah.
Now the Chiefs can make it happen with wide receiver 2 and 3s, but it would be nice. It would have been real nice for the Chiefs to have Amari Cooper
Yeah.
as instead of Juju Smith-Schuster. But I
Mhm.
think that's two birds with one stone. They strengthened their team and they took somebody possibly away from the Chiefs.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna ask you guys a question. Both you can tell me who you guys think. Who is the best team in the AFC? And I'll start with Pete. In your opinion, right now, we're 6 weeks in. from what you've seen, who's the best team in the AFC?
I know their record is 5-0, but I'm not saying the Chiefs. It's the Ravens. Honestly, it bothered me the way they played on the first night because they didn't use Henry the way they're using him now.
Mhm.
Like that's what you get him for. Don't be scared to run the ball if they get him hold him to a 2 yard carry, you know. But the way they've been playing lately, it still was weird to me because I was in DC when they lost to the Raiders, and I was like, wait a minute, what? I'm reading this wrong. I know they didn't lose to the Raiders and they're home. So it was
Yeah.
very weird to me that they started 0-2. I watched the game on the opening night. I don't, and they bring up the last play, Isaiah Likely not getting both feet down in the end zone. But
So
I think that the misuse of Henry was what cost them that game, not that last play. And right now, the way they're rolling, I think it's done.
James?
yeah, and I'm not saying this obviously because I'm a Ravens fan, but I think they're the best team because we have yet to see the best football they played. They're 4-2 and they got the momentum, and we still haven't seen their arsenal with the weapons that they have yet. And once they put it together, the puzzle is almost there. I just want to see them put it together on the offensive and defensive side. But last week was a showing of how dominant they can be and not let you creep back in the game. Like they got some they got some power back there. We already know last year they were number one rushing offense. You add Henry. Once you figure out how to utilize him to the benefit, not just to say you gave him this X amount of touches, but use him when it's necessary, bro. It's gonna be a dangerous scene in the AFC when they put it together, bro.
Hmm. No, I agree. I'm not gonna say the Chiefs, man. I think the Chiefs have been lucky, not lucky. I shouldn't say luck because they're professionals. I think the Chiefs have been fortune's been on their side. I'll say that. Pass interference calls, whatever you want to say. The
Yeah,
touchdown with likely in the background, toe, like the nail was hanging over the damn white, and it's a out of bounds call. Where if you take that away, you take the pass interference call against the Bengals, they're got two losses right there. I'm gonna go with the Ravens just because they Pete said they bounced back real good after them two losses. And I like that. I think the head coach woke up and said, "You know what? I brought Henry here for a reason. Let's give him the ball." And it's something you said, Pete. I don't even remember his game. I want to say it was Dolphins, Ricky Williams versus your Giants. I want to say it was that, and he couldn't run the ball at first. He couldn't run it. Every time he went downhill, they would stop him. Whatever defense it was, I don't know if it was Giants or not, but they would stop him. Boom, stop him. And by the fourth quarter, he hit that hole so hard. Them defenders didn't want to block no more. They didn't want to tackle because they were just getting pounded all the whole game. It broke off like an 80-yard, 60-yard run. It goes back to what you're saying. Don't go away from the run if they stop him 2 yards right now. It's early. By the third or fourth quarter, them defensive linemen ain't trying to get hit. Them linebackers ain't trying to come downhill and make that tack. And them you safeties and corners ain't stopping Henry. You know what I'm saying? We seen him.
Especially
He
especially
he.
with especially with Derrick Henry, like
Mhm.
that you run his ass, yo.
Yeah, you're not
yeah.
stopping them. So I agree, man. I think they are the best team right now. I know some people might disagree. I know, Nick Wright would disagree because his team is 5-0, but I think you're 5-0 by circumstance. And
Mm-hmm.
fortune that just happened to fall on your side. Cam Akers left the Texans to the Vikings, I think. So I don't know that's gonna be major for them, but that's a running back that went over there. Uh Stefanski said that he's still sticking with Watson. Pete, bench him, stick with him. What would you do?
They're so fucked, yo, by this guy. It's unreal. Like it sucks because it's like, yo, we used to, back in the day we used to play NBA Live, and when
Mm-hmm.
dudes just start throwing up shots, we say desperation gets you nowhere. And that's what happened with Cleveland. And the thing is, they were okay with Baker, but they saw
Yep.
something. They left their wife for the stripper, and the stripper is what you thought what she was. Like she ain't got no fucking job. She's just spending all your money, running up your credit cards. That's what he is. He ain't he doesn't even I would say he's if he was productive and the rest of the team was shit, all right, at least you got a quarterback. But it's not even that. Like he's bad and he's got a lot of money due to him the next 3 years, and they can't do
Yep.
they can't cut him, they can't trade. Nobody's gonna trade for him, and they can't cut him
Hmm.
because that dead cap hit is gonna be crazy. So it sucks that they're they fucked themselves with this. They shot themselves in the foot because they would have been all right with Baker. Baker wouldn't have
Yep.
had a fully guaranteed contract. And
Mm-mm.
look at Baker's playing all right now. And Stefanski, the trickle down effect of this would be they'd be stupid to fire Stefanski because he won Coach of the Year twice.
Yep.
That's not a scrub coach right there if he won Coach of the Year twice. But you may have to get rid of him to save face because you don't want to bench this guy because you paid him a lot of
Hmm.
money. This may be like the worst move like ever in sports. I don't follow hockey, basketball somewhat, but between baseball and football, from what I know, this is like one of the worst moves I've ever seen and how it's panned out afterwards.
Yeah, I don't know if I was a big Deshaun fan, not like in the sense like I'm a Brady fan, but I rooted for him, especially when I seen him on the Texans go against my Patriots and kind of go to the wire with Brady, you know? And you saw what he did in Texas. I really do feel like what's wrong with Deshaun Watson is not even physical, it's all mental. I believe mentally
Hmm.
he's not in the game. His mind is not there. It could be all the lawsuits, it could be a lot of stuff. Maybe he never got the help he needed after all that stuff went down. But I just feel at that position, yes, physical matters, but I also feel like you're mental to make those right decisions. I saw some passes that were overthrown that this guy would normally make. He's not making them, underthrown, like it's just too much. Um, I know, Pete covered, you can't get rid of him, the cap space. But they're getting rid of Amari Cooper. Like, what do you do, James? Like, what you don't want to bench him. So what do you do? Like, you just rest, you're going to struggle for the next 36 plus games. You know what I'm saying? 34 plus games.
Nah, I think you gotta make what we talked about this earlier, man. A lot of these franchises are making decisions based on what looks good to the public and not what's right for the
Hmm.
team. So guess what? The motherfucker ain't working. You gotta change it up, bro. We listen, we
Hmm.
saw Flacco come in at the end of the season last season and provide a spark. Watson was hurt. He's coming back off an injury, bro. Like these things, I think what it was the organization wanted that microwave dinner instead of that long, slow cooked, roast beef, man. You could have took your time and developed, and you wanted what looked good and what the public wanted. Watson got to go to the bench, and if he's a true professional, he'll take his time, get his shit together. He ain't going nowhere. He's got a large contract. Take your time. Let somebody come in, develop, but behind the scenes, get better, bro. That's it. Losing games is only gonna bring your stock down. Yeah, you're getting paid, but the long term effect that if they decide to move you after your contract's up, you're gonna be out of a job in the league. As a professional, you gotta take that back seat for a second and say, hey, for the best interest of the team, I'm gonna sit down, get myself ready to go when the time is called upon me again. I'm gonna be great. But like you said, he's throwing passes crazy. Like we ain't seen that from him. It's mental. Sometimes you gotta get your mental space together, bro.
I got one more quarterback to talk about real quick. Well, actually, two more. It's two. Steelers are giving
Oh,
Russell Wilson first team
eh,
reps. Um, yeah, I think they're looking at starting him against the Jets. I personally feel like I wanted Russell to start from day one. Okay. And I
yeah.
understand he was hurt. I get it. I don't think he was that hurt. You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't want him to come in right now, not against the
Oh.
the the Jets. You know what I'm saying? Like I would want him to come in when you have a lesser foe. Because the Jets are still they got a good defense. They still got a good defense.
Hmm.
Um what what do you make out of it, James? They got they got what's his name? Justin Fields, he's 4-2, 10 total touchdowns, only two interceptions. He's
Yeah.
been winning the games. I'm not a fan of Fields. I'm not by no means. And I don't think that I think they should have started Russell from day one, but they're benching him. It looks like they're gonna bench him now. What's your take on it?
Yeah. Uh, like you just said, man. Oh, we said earlier, momentum is everything. You don't take a guy who's got you to 4-2 right now and bench him and lose that momentum because you're hoping and praying that Russell comes in and does and gives a spark. But what if he doesn't? And now you revert back, and this dude's confidence is probably like these are younger guys, man. They not like veterans who can understand when it's their time comes and when it's not. Man, that's the I think right now at this point is the worst time. I would have liked to start, like you said, start from the beginning, start Russ from the beginning, and if need be, start throttling them back and get Justin Fields some time. But bro, like, come on, man. Like you don't bench a guy who's playing this great. I ain't gonna say great. He's playing good football, solid football. 10 TDs, 2 picks. You got motherfuckers throwing 3 picks in a game. Like this is a guy who's playing at a high level. And to stop that momentum, I hate it, bro. I hate when somebody stops the momentum of a football team. And we don't even know how he feels about that, bro.
Uh, he didn't want to be the second. He didn't want to be the backup. When he got
What
there,
I'm
he
saying
was
is
like,
like in a space right now where it should be like I said, when you can tell when an organization is running right, transparency is there. You don't take them out without building them up. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, we've heard Tomlin in press conferences where he's not praising him. He's kind of being bland with his remarks about him. So and where's your confidence for your starting quarterback right now? And now you ain't giving give this guys no praise all season, and now you benching him. Yeah, it's just something ain't right, man.
so now I'm gonna throw a different team at you, Pete, that I think they should bench the quarterback. The Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh hell, man!
Trevor's up there, sunshine.
I cut that motherfucker, man.
You got Mac Jones there. You're already one in what? They're 1-5, I think. Yeah, one and
One and
five, right?
five.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1-5.
Yep.
They're playing
So
my Patriots on Sunday,
it's
9:30.
over.
You said what? You
It's
said
over.
sell
Like could bro,
Um,
Trevor
I,
was brought in for ticket sales. That's all. He's a pretty boy. He's brought in for ticket sales.
I think the Pats could beat them after what I saw with Drake made against the Texans, even though they lost. And that was his first game against, I think, a good defense, a good team. What do you do? You're right now. You Dougie P. The owner saying it's the best team I've had. The GM, it looks like he ain't going nowhere. You Dougie P. You know your job's on the line. What are you doing? You keeping Trevor in, or are you going to bring Mac Jones in?
No, I wouldn't bring Mac Jones in. Who Gabe Davis dropped a touchdown.
Hmm.
So did Christian Kirk. That's not his fault. I mean, yeah, I'm not saying he's lighting it up or doing his, or that he has no fault, but Sunday wasn't his fault. He's
Mm,
just dropping passes. Now, no, there's no, I mean, Jared Goff a couple weeks ago, he was what, 18 for 18. We don't see that. There are quarterbacks that miss passes.
Yeah, yeah.
Every single quarterback misses passes. Every single quarterback throws interceptions. Sunday, they dropped 2 touchdowns. That's not Trevor Lawrence's fault. I definitely wouldn't bench him for Mac Jones. And the fact that they just paid him. They're not gonna bench this dude. They're not benching him.
mm.
So if they lose on Sunday, if you think Doug Peterson's gone,
Maybe. I think they have a bye after that, so then that would be the time to do it. So might be.
damn, bro. Sunshine about to get Dougie P fired. Super Bowl winning head
Yeah.
coach. About to get him going. You're right. The touchdown passes that were dropped was not his fault. I just feel like Trevor hasn't been right since he got injured. Overthrown passes, interception. He leads the league, I think, in total turnovers, unless somebody else took it over between now and the last time, we started the season. But yeah, man, he's not the quarterback that should have got paid the money he got paid. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm not saying Mac Jones will make a difference. The numbers are actually similar. And Mac Jones had a worse offense and didn't have offense coordinator and was on a team that was actually going downhill fast. Like that ship was sinking real fast, worse than Titanic. So I think you put him in a situation where he has a better offensive line, a better weapons, an offensive minded head coach with a good offensive coordinator. I think he'll play better than Trevor. And he might not be the first few snaps, you know what I'm saying? But I think if you take a chance, I think he would play. He'll give you that chance to win because I've seen what he did with nothing on my team. So, and then I
But
also
look
say
at
Hey,
the
the
and
diff.
game.
my bad. You also got to think about this. When you get paid that amount of money, every little thing you do is going to be scrutinized.
Yep.
So it's magnified because he got that contract. Now, if he didn't get that contract and he got something, something I would say something that's beneficial to how he played and what he deserved, we probably wouldn't even talk about like, damn, the Jets, Jags, we'll probably just saying like overall they're playing bad. But now every little thing, like you said, two players, two wides drop touchdown passes. Now we're still like, and not saying that we're blaming on him, but he's going to take that because guess what?
Yeah,
200 something million. Because last week before last, it was on him. That motherfucker was throwing that shit to whoever he thought he saw between his third eye. Like, but now everything is going to be, on him. Just like with Lamar. When Lamar didn't win, guess what? We can say it was about any and everybody, but guess what? Lamar going to take that. They start questioning, was he deserving of an MVP, this, that, and third, and that come with the territory. To me, he never should have got that contract because you put him under so much stress that coming back off an injury, getting that contract, bro, you better ball out, or is you gonna be on podcasts like this getting talked about?
yeah. Because I'm gonna talk about you. I really am. I really am. All right, so
But real quick,
go
like
ahead,
look at
Pete,
what
go
we're
ahead.
talking about. We just talked about Justin Fields and Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Both of them ain't making shit. So
Nope.
yeah, I'm changing quarterbacks. It's not a big deal. But Deshaun Watson and
Yeah.
and and Trevor
Getting that
Lawrence, they're
bread.
making 50 million.
Yep.
They're not gonna get benched because of that as well. We go and Watson is playing worse than Trevor Lawrence,
Hmm.
Yeah.
but
You're right, but
they're not getting benched because of what they're making, man.
so you know what I would do? I get rid of general managers. You're going. Have a nice life. You told me to sign. You told me to sign this dude. If I'm an owner of a team, look. If I'm putting billions,
I'm trusting you. Yeah.
yeah. Listen, bro. Pete, we got to cut him, bro. If we was
But
owners,
that's how you got into the situation with Deshaun Watson in the first
oh
place.
yeah. No,
Hmm.
I'm not even the Deshaun Watson. See, I like the analogy you put up. You left the housewife for the strip, and the stripper turned out to be nothing, just a pretty face with a made up body, and here you go. You know, it, I like Baker. This is why I get mad when people like Shady McCoy, I said, and other people take shots at Baker because I don't think Baker had the fair shake that he deserved. First off, he had inconsistency as OCs. You had multiple head coaches, and all of them were changing what they wanted to do. You finally take a team that hasn't been to the playoffs, and I don't know how long. You go to the playoffs. Okay, yeah, you beat a Steelers team that wasn't like it was before, but you still beat them. You know what I'm saying? And because he was having bad moments and the game wasn't looking right, you ship him out to Carolina. We know what Carolina looks like with any quarterback under center. Then he goes to the Rams, first game off the plane, doesn't even know the playbook, wins the game. Yeah, then he goes losing. And then he goes to the Bucks and look, threw three interceptions last game and still won the game. When did we see Baker throw three interceptions in a game and still come back and win? It was amazing how he's playing in Tampa, but he has consistency at coaching, a good environment. So yeah, the Browns are just a shitty organization all around. You know that they
Yeah.
just
I say they
they
cursed all the time.
yeah they're not until they change ownership or managers or GMs or whatever. It's not going to be they're not going to be where they need to be. Kind of like what we see with the Cowboys, right? As long as Jerry Jones is the GM and he's the owner, they're never going to get to where he wants to get to because you're too involved and you got to step away
Hmm.
from it. Sometimes when we think we have the answers because we saw it one way so many moons ago, it's not going to be the same way today. Sometimes you need fresh eyes in there. You know, you look at what other organization is ran like crap, and we keep seeing them up there trying to do stuff. And like Panthers, you want to say that if you want. Hell, the Bengals are cheap. They don't want to pay nobody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, um, you're right. I don't know. I think sometimes you got to humble a motherfucker to get them to see what's up. So maybe not bench him for the entirety of the season. But yo, sit your ass down. You're gonna sit down for a game or two. You know, yeah, we pay you that money, but you're not playing like you have to play. And it's
Right.
not, and I get it. We can't blame everything like drop passes that were probably on the money in their hands. They should have caught it. But there's been a lot more that he's done that haven't. There's been games where he's the reason why they didn't win the game.
Mm.
if that makes sense. So Rashid Shahi out, knee surgery, so he's out for the season. Uh what's his name? Olave's out for the game on Thursday because of concussion protocol. Derek Carr's out. I think the Saints are done for the season, in my opinion. I just think they might as well go ahead and start trying to play for that number one pick. Um,
Yeah.
it's just crazy. All these players are going down. Shaheed, Rice is out. Who else? Yo, you said Aiden Hutchinson's leg,
I
Yeah,
didn't
man.
see it.
And
I didn't see
it was
it.
the momentum. It was his own momentum going into his own teammate that snatched his
bro.
shit, bro.
He hit that dude's shin and his
It was like
leg.
a twig, bro.
It wrapped
It
around the dude's
wrapped.
leg,
Yeah.
and then he's on the ground, and
He's like, I
his leg
think,
is up, and you see it like because
ah,
Oh,
because he got the I don't want to say leggings, but
the tights,
the
yeah.
long the tights on, and it's keeping it from kind of like really falling over. But bro,
wow.
that
Yeah,
and
I
he
didn't
Yeah, I
was
see
ta-
it.
couldn't.
I didn't. They didn't replay it. I didn't see it online. And
I
bro,
felt
and
bad
he
for him, bro.
like a G. He took like he was saying it like yo, just
He said, my shit's broke.
yeah, yo. Let me tell you, that would have been me. I've been that big crying. Ah,
but the
get
same thing
help, bro.
happened to Dak a couple years ago with his
Oh
ankle.
yeah, the
Yo,
ankle, yeah.
yeah, that his joint was looking like this, but his body was that way. Like it was ridiculous. It
Yeah.
was like crazy on how they did that, man. But let's look at the games for next week. We got tomorrow, Denver Saints. Uh, I ain't really too impressed with that one. Then we got 9:30. We have Patriots at Jags. Both 1-5 teams. I'm gonna root for my team. I'm gonna give them. I normally don't pick them, but I'm gonna pick them today. But for that one, 1 o'clock we got Bengals and Browns.
Yeah.
I think the Bengals gonna roll them. Texans at Packers. That might be a good game.
That's gonna be a good one.
Yeah,
Lions at Vikings at 1 o'clock.
that's a
Ooh,
good one
that's
as
gonna be
well.
a good one. Yeah.
Minnesota's up by they favor by 2 points. So let me ask you a
Dang.
question, right? Because I will talk about this team because there's two of them on this call that they play each other on Sunday. But let's talk about the Lions and Vikings first. If the Lions come in there and win, pull out the win, and I ain't talking about like barely, but like they win. Are we saying the Lions are the best team in the NFC?
Yeah, yeah, I would. I would.
Yeah, I would too. The momentum last season gave them the confidence. They coming in like I love the way the coach ended the season. He said, "Hey, we started the season, and I think we talked about this last time. We went out there. We put it all out there. We went on a gamble. It ain't sure been our favor, but that's our style of football. And he stood on business. This year they're still playing with that chip. They're playing like they got something to prove. And if they beat the Vikings, momentum and confidence going through the fucking roof.
Yeah, bro, they got it. All right, Eagles at Giants. um,
Uh,
always a great game though. Listen, don't
yeah,
let in my opinion, don't let the record fool you, bro. Because what I've seen the Giants here lately, and I'm not saying this because Pete's on the call, you know what I'm saying, and we
yeah,
go back like kids in diapers and shit. I'm saying this because I honestly do believe that they had better, at least one or two better weapons. If Neighbors was still there, and they had another weapon on that offense, I think they would be winning some of these games they're losing, man. They've held up. Defense has held up. Some teams have struggled against them, and Daniel Jones has been playing okay. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
yeah.
not as bad as I think it is. So, Pete, that's your team. What you expect to see on Sunday?
The, I don't know, to be quite honest, because 2 weeks ago they went up to Seattle and they beat them. And this is a team that was, a team that put up what 30 on the Lions. But look what the Giants did to them in their house. Like the defense is really good. The Bengals, what did they do? The week before against the Ravens, they put up 30, I think it was. And then
Yeah,
look, they held them to 17 points. And that last touchdown
Yeah,
was garbage time. The game was already over.
yeah,
yeah,
Um, the defense is not bad. When they played the Commanders didn't get in the end zone. So it's the offense. Okay, last week no neighbors. Daniel Jones is too inconsistent. So I honestly that's why I say I don't know because I don't know what the fuck would happen. Left tackle's out for the season. Neighbors may be back, so who knows? Again, don't know what the hell's gonna go on. And they play like shit at home, so I have no idea, bro. I know I'm a fan. I have no idea what these dudes week to week is gonna do.
Okay, okay. James, what you think? You want to comment on it?
Yeah, man. Even last season, bro. I think we talked about this. The Giants play passionate defense, bro. They play inspired football. Like at least we know if we watch a game, a Giants game, it ain't gonna be no fucking like no blowout. Like you said, they lost to some legit teams. They wasn't teams like bum teams. They lost to some, but they gave them a good fight. Like I think if they add some pieces to the offense, Daniel Jones, like you said, I don't know, bro. He just it may be time for a change, man. Like
Nah, he's gone. He's gone after this year, bro.
yeah, yeah, but like we said, it's sad to give these people opportunities only to see what the fans already see. Like, hey, it's time to fucking move on, and they wanna give these chances. Like, bro, how long do you leave your defense to play that inspired before you make a decision and help them out with some offense, bro?
Hmm.
And I get it, they got some injuries, but I hope the Giants win for the fact that hey, good football is still being played. Like even though they're limited and they got some obstacles to overcome, they playing fucking good football. And I hate watching the game when it's just fucking like roll over and die football. Like yo, fucking play football. We want to watch this shit. I think it's gonna be a good game. They fuck around win, man.
They might.
They
Don't
fuck
let
around
June
win.
hear you. June might get on this call now because you said that.
Because Eagles
Uh,
Eagles ain't playing consistent football either.
nah,
So
nah. 425 Jets. I mean Chiefs at 49ers. Um, I think that's going to be a good game, and I think this could be the Chiefs' first loss, man. I think
yeah,
obviously is the regular season. It's not the playoffs. If they were gonna take a loss, it'd probably be this one. It's out of conference. It's not gonna do anything to them in the
ugh,
conference. This is a team they might see again in the playoffs in the Super Bowl. So I think matchup wise, if the 49ers defense shows up, um,
ugh.
because you're gonna have to force one of these receivers to be your go-to guy. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? And I think Fred Warner in the middle can take care of Kelsey. Can that back end hold up against, Worthy, Juju? Who is anybody else? Sky Moore? I don't even know who else they got out there, bro. It's like
Sky Moore don't really play like that. They use the other tight end more than they use Sky
Noah
Moore.
Gray, great, great, yeah. So, I think that's good. I think Chiefs could take their first loss. James, what about you? What you think?
I say this: if the Chiefs win this game, we better be careful because they getting W's without their best squad out there right now. They getting W's with a depleted offense. If they come back and rest up, and some of these players can return for the postseason, we might be in fucking trouble. Because once again, we talked about this as well. Good teams, you ain't got to be play great. You gotta have enough wit to win. And I
Yeah.
think over the last fucking 3 4 years, Kansas City has found out like, hey, you don't gotta fucking throw 50 touchdown passes to win a
Mhm.
game. As long as we can play the short game, clock management, and not play hero ball and take you to the fourth quarter and get hey shit, if we go to overtime and all we gotta do is kick a field goal to score, bro, we gotta be careful, man. If Kansas City wins this game, it's gonna be some fucking trouble. It's gonna be some trouble.
Pete?
Another one. This is a toss up for me though. But I could like you. I could see if I wouldn't be shocked if they lost this game. But the again, and we spoke about it last week. They don't got the offense that we know them for having.
Right.
But the defense, the defense, man, they got a legit defense. Better than the Jets, I think. You said the Jets got a good defense. They run the ball all over them the last couple of
Yeah.
games.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think the
But
Jets defense is what everybody thinks it was coming into the season, but Kansas City's slept on. Kansas City's defense could let's see what they do against San Francisco.
I I think you said Jets defense. I think the biggest mistake Jets did was let go of Solid. That's just me.
Yep.
Um, that's me.
Crazy.
You know what I'm saying? I think that was the worst thing they could have did, and that's reap what you sow. The Chiefs are playing great football. Everybody's saying now, defense. They're playing great defense. That's their strong point. Where at one point it was the offense,
Yeah.
and I guess over the last couple of years it shifted to the defense. And they
Hmm.
have Mahomes hasn't had to be. the best him to win the game. He's just going to be the worst him. So, but like I said, I think 49ers could beat them. And I think the 49ers need to win more than the Chiefs.
Yeah.
The thing the Chiefs can afford to lose, and it's okay. But
Hmm.
Chiefs are coming off a bye week too. So they've had, excuse me, all week to prepare for the 49ers, where, I think the 49ers need to win first more than anything. I think they need to have a win. Monday night, I'm gonna be at the game. We have two games going on, 9 o'clock. We got Chargers at Cardinals, but the one I want to talk about is Ravens at Bucks. I'm gonna be at the game with June Bree and Nikki, the play call. Uh man, they got your Ravens favorite 3.5 points in Tampa. I'm gonna ask Pete first. Who do you think needs to win this game more, Bucks or Ravens?
Let me just say, I make a case for both of them because Atlanta is hot, and that's the competition for the Bucks. But like what James just said, if the Chiefs win, I'm assuming you was talking about the Ravens, right? When you said the Chiefs win, we in some trouble.
Yeah, we gotta be worried.
So yeah, so they have to kind of keep up with the Chiefs because that's who they really play. I said this a couple of times already. The regular season for some teams really don't mean shit. Ravens
Hmm.
is one of those teams. They need to go to they need to worry about the playoffs and when they play Kansas City again because that's what's gonna happen. They're gonna play Kansas. You don't want to see them play Buffalo again. I think we already know what's gonna happen. They play Buffalo. I want to see them play the Chiefs again. That's what I think. So they need to win it because they have to keep up with the Chiefs,
Keep
and
pace.
and the Bucks have to keep up with Atlanta because they going for toe. So you already mentioned the Saints. They're losing people left and right, and the same thing with and the other team's Carolina. So that's the case for both of them. But who needs it more? If I had to pick one, I'm gonna say the Ravens.
James?
Yeah, I'm gonna say yes. One, like I said, momentum. Um, you don't want to drop the momentum that you already have, especially going into a game like this and with Kansas City with such a cushion. Like you said, Kansas City can afford to lose one. We already know they ain't got all their pieces. So they drop one, still, if we drop this one and we go to 4-3, it's tough. That the division is not separated by much after you get past Kansas City. So I think, and especially going into this, who do we see as a contender in the playoffs? Do we see the Bucks as a contender in the playoffs? Possibly. But the momentum and pressure is on you as the Ravens because one, the expectation last year was Super Bowl or bust, and we didn't go. And now the doubt was there. You don't want to start losing that momentum, not only from inside the organization, but from a fan perspective to say, hey, look, Baltimore ain't it. They're a regular season team. They get to the playoffs, they crumble. We got to build on this momentum that we got. So I say we can't afford to lose at all. I say we got to go on like a 6 game streak before we lose another one. We can't drop another one.
Yeah, I think the pressure, not pressure, I should say the advantage of winning would be more on the Ravens than the Bucks. And only because I took two L's early back to back.
Yeah.
Got playing catch up. One L was to the Chiefs, so they already owned the tiebreaker if it came down to that.
Yep.
Um, and you have to show, I think by beating teams with winning records like the Bucks who are 4-2, just like you, it lets the league know NFC, AFC, we here. We not
Yep.
it's not a game. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And you can take that momentum and go. Well, we came to that. We came to Florida. We beat a 4-2 team in the Bucks. Now we're showing that no matter what, we're not just beating losing teams. We're beating teams with winning records. I think it's important to stay with in line with the Chiefs. For the Bucks, uh, I don't think losing to the Ravens is a bad thing. It's the Ravens.
Right.
I think if you lost to the Jets or the Patriots or the Browns or hell the Panthers, I think that's something worth talking about. But if the Ravens come in there and put up 150 rushing yards on you, bro, take it as a thank you that they didn't put 200 yards up because they could definitely put that up in the game. You know what I'm saying? So I think that the Ravens got more to win on that one. All right, man. That's it for this week, bro. We got it in a day late. I'm sorry about that. Next week we will record on Tuesday. I will be here. I won't leave until Wednesday morning this time, so we can knock it out next Tuesday. James, you got anything you want to add?
Yeah, man. I think I missed last week.
What?
We had the storm, but man, glad to be back on once again. Like I said, it's always good vibes when we jump on here and talk about football, and I look forward to it every week. So I hope everybody that's listening and watching look forward to it.
Yeah. Go ahead, Pete.
Yo, like you said, man, always look forward to talking football, going over the shit that's been going on in the league and recapping the games. Look forward to next week, like always, man.
Yeah, with that being said, it's offside. See you next week, man. Peace.